Well, it's that time again, isn't it? It's time to speak some facts in this never-ending madness that is occupying our so-called free and democratic societies wherever you may live in the West. I'm saying that not as tongue-in-cheek, but as absolutely as describing the situation as it is right now. Most of the places around the globe, and I'm especially referring to the West. The West are truly adopting a new kind of rule against their populations, which can only be described as authoritarianism, and this authoritarianism is being implemented on the basis of a few things, and I find myself being the center of one of the pretexts which this global conglomerate of states and their intelligence agencies are using to justify this new kind of rule. And I'm obviously referring to my part in the program as being the unwilling subject of this conglomerate of state arbiters who are using me as the boogeyman, which they based the entire program on, this global social engineering and intelligence operation, aka the program, which has been going on for more than a decade now and has only intensified as time has gone on, and to the point right now where things are really starting to get very obvious, as I just mentioned in the beginning of this statement, that there's a new kind of rule, and that is blatant authoritarianism, and so it's that's why you see so many campaigns that are directed at me personally, in which I am continuously being discredited and humiliated and ridiculed through all sorts of extraordinary claims and propaganda narratives that are continuously being broadcast on a global basis. And that's on top of all the extrajudicial accusations that this conglomerate of state arbiters are leveling against me on a public basis, outside of any norm, but outside the court system, or outside of the rule of law, I suppose is the right expression for that, where I am being labelled guilty for serious criminal offences. Also, most of them, I suppose, are all centering around that I'm supposedly guilty of having committed sex crimes, and this is these accusations and allegations which I'm being labelled guilty for. They have been levelling against me for more than a decade without one single charge, without even the slightest official action taken in that regard. Instead, I have been labelled guilty on a continuous basis, more like every single day they are proclaiming that I'm guilty of having committed crimes that they are not willing to even charge me for, nevertheless try to have me convicted. So instead, they're using their propaganda efforts as a way of justifying their political and social persecution of me, Stephen Bell, which is going on not only in my daily life, but it's also going on a global basis, through propaganda and psyop campaigns which are being broadcast on a global scale. And the main arbiter of the program is undoubtedly the United States of America, and the Danish government and even the British government are just lackeys in this regard to the United States, and they will do and say whatever they are told to by the United States government and its intelligence agencies. So that's why you see that especially Denmark is going against all of its own interest in regards to the program and continuing the program on behest of the United States. And that's why you're also seeing the propaganda campaigns, the psyops that are waged against me, why the United States are so heavily interested in keeping the population of the world, one might say, believing their endless accusations and extraordinary claims about me. And you see, they're very, very invested, and that's why you have so many comedians and podcasters and the like so utterly obsessed with repeating the State Arbor's talking points in their podcast and in their shows. You specifically want to keep an eye on people like Your Mum's House and what's his face, the Tim Dillon show. They are really pushing the program's propaganda on a really intense level. I need to overtake here just a second. I just had to overtake that lorry here. So they are really invested, and those two podcasters which I have named, and there are many more, they are really invested. They on a dime perpetuate the program's psyops and propaganda to their listeners without question, without any hesitation whatsoever. And they will repeatedly, one day they will say one thing, another day they will say another thing, and so on and so forth, and not despite that those stories which they tell in the wake of each other are contradictory to one another. So you have this outright repeating or regurgitation of the program's propaganda on all sorts of media platforms, podcasters and comedians, endlessly perpetuating the program's nonsense and bullshit, because the state arbiters of the program are so scared of the people learning the truth regarding the program and me, Stephen Bell, and not to mention the coronavirus. They are petrified that people go against their narrative, because their narratives is what they are using to introduce this new kind of rule against their population, this authoritarianism. And we are not living in democratic societies where the rule of law govern. Now we are living under de facto dictatorships, telling us arbitrarily. They are telling their populations what they can do, what to believe and what not to believe, and they are basing this whole new global government and system, because it is global. Just have a look at all across the world how everybody, countries and their governments are all following the same guidelines and interests. So it is definitely a global occurrence, and it's particularly noticeable in the West. All you have to do is look like countries like Australia and Ireland, and you kind of get a glimpse of how bad things are becoming, and that is no joke. And I'm doing my bit to give you people who have the opportunity to watch my videos, give you some real facts as it relates to my particular situation, as being the unwitting subject or victim of the program which these utter scumbags are using as a pretext for this global social engineering and intelligence operation.